Okay, good morning. Today we're going to be learning about check writing and also balancing a checkbook. We're going to be using Edmodo and an online resource called a WebQuest. So first thing I want you to do while I pull up the objectives is go to your Edmodo account, log in, and go to my page for Mr. Pritchett's first block. Okay, everybody get a chance to pull it up? Everybody see where I added a okay. Anyways, so first thing we're going to do is go over the objectives for the lesson today. As you can see up here on the board, we're going to do three things. After this lesson, you'll be able to identify various parts of a personal check. Then you'll be able to follow the correct steps to complete a personal check yourself. We're going to do 4 examples. And then lastly, you'll be able to accurately fill out a check ledger. So first thing I want you to do is on the Edmodo, you'll see a link to what's called a WebQuest. I put a link to a website on there. Go ahead and pull that up as I pull it up on the board. It should look something like this, and when you get to it, if it's not on the Welcome tab, make sure you click on that. Everybody there? All right. No? Okay. You fine? Okay. Follow along as we work through this, and then we'll get to the worksheets in a second. So click on the Introduction tab. This says you have just gotten your first part-time job. A couple of you, I think, have already worked jobs, so this will be nothing new to you. To receive your paychecks, your employer requires that you set up a bank account for direct deposit. That simply means that your check goes straight to your bank instead of having to physically sign it and then go cash it. It just goes right in your bank account. That's direct deposit. You go to your local bank and open up a checking account. With your newly started checking account, the bank supplies you with a set of checks and a checkbook. By learning the proper technique in writing and balancing a checkbook, you'll be able to spend money and receive money in the form of paper checks. Some of you have already mentioned that you do this already, which is great. This will just be a refresher for those of you who don't have a checking account or have never written a check. This will be good to learn. Click on the Task tab. Students will be able to learn how to write personal checks in any situation. Just like I mentioned, in society, it's often necessary to make payments for goods and services through the use of checks. Many times people use checks to pay for rent, groceries, and even to get cash out of an account. It's not uncommon for a person to write 10 or more personal checks in any month. This assignment calls for students to work individually, also in groups in just a second. Learning the proper steps to writing personal checks. It says on here you'll have 1 day to complete this assignment. This will take just the rest of this class period. And then the following will need to be completed. Probably fill out the personal checks, record your debits and credits, and then balance your checkbook. Okay, so click on the next tab, the Process tab. And you'll see the tasks here. Task 1 is to watch the attached video explaining how to write a basic check. I'll pull up the video on the board so that way everyone can see it. Then print out the Word document blank checks. I've already done that for you and handed that to you. And then you're going to fill out 4 checks on the page. So first thing we should do is watch this first video on how to write a check. Will the volume plug from here? Does this pull up or does it stay small?
You should be able to without clicking on it.
I'll be doing something wrong. Yeah. Oh, I'll just do all that because I'm not very far.
Is it embedded?
Yes. We go to YouTube maybe. Perfect. No, that was it. The one before. Yes. All right. Sorry about that. So here's a video. It's really short about how to write personal checks. Okay. This is allowed as blank, okay. So what it's saying, if you look on your worksheet, top right corner is where the check goes, or where the date goes. Top left corner is to whom the check, you write the check from, the person who's writing the check. On the pay to the order line, that's who you're writing the check to, so that's who it's going to. If I am buying some fruit from Shania and I'm using a check instead of cash, I'll put her name there on the pay to the order. Then you put the amount here in the box on the right. Then on the second line, what you have to do is you have to write out in number form, or in word form rather, the number that you use there on the box on the right. You have to write this out completely in words, because the bank will match up the number with the words you put there on the line. You want to make sure that's the exact same thing. So as you see here, he had $90 written in the box on the right, and on the line you wrote 90, 90, and 0 over 100, which means 0 cents out of 100. And then you want to draw this line through the rest. If you don't use up the entire line, you want to draw, basically scratch through the rest of it so someone can't come behind you and then put more money in that you didn't intend for. Then in the for blank, you can say what it's for. Again, if I was buying some fruit for Shania's FFA, I could put FFA or fruit sale or whatever, just to remind yourself of what it was for. And then here on the bottom right is where you sign the check. You say, this is, I'm allowing this check to go through. This is my checkbook. This is my signature. So that's basically the video. Okay, so now we've gone over how to write checks briefly. On the worksheet, you have 4 checks, the individual numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. What I want you to do, and you can see this on the Procedures tab on your web quest, the Process tab in your web quest, is you have 4 directions for each of your checks. Check 1 should be written to pay for a common monthly bill. Rent, car payment, electric bill, something of that nature. You can make up a company if you want to, or you can use one that you already know. And you can also make up the amount that you think is appropriate. If you don't know, you can ask me and I'll be happy to help you. fill out the check properly, writing in all lines available. So first, number one, first check you have at the top of your page, just any monthly bill that you could think of, rent, it can be groceries, it could be a car payment, a phone bill. You can use an example that you use from your H&R Block challenge. That's fine as well. Fill out any amount that you want to that you think is appropriate for that bill and fill in the check entirely. I'll be walking around to help you if you need help. The box where you put your amount is somewhat faded, but you can see. Yeah. So. This one doesn't have a date box, so just ignore that part. You can write it in there if you'd like. And if you're using pencil on this worksheet, that's perfectly fine. But just know, if it was a real check, you want to make sure you're using an ink pen, black or blue ink preferably. But for this worksheet, pencil's fine. Okay, a couple examples. Shania, what did you write your check for? For rent? Okay, how much, what was your total amount? And then in the memo tab at the very bottom, what did you put? Good. Star, what did you write your check for? Rent, same thing? Did you put anything different in the memo tab or just rent? Monthly rent, perfect. Okay, great. So you should be finishing up check one. Check two, you're going to do the exact same thing, rent to pay for a different common monthly bill. Same instructions as before, but don't write it for the same bill as one. So if you did rent for check one, do car payment, phone payment, anything that you want to. And again, try to match the amount to what would be appropriate. So if your rent, like Shania's was $600, and you're writing your phone payment for the second one, probably not going to be $600 for the phone payment, correct? So just estimate what you think that would be. The same thing for the second bill, second check. Power with I'll know power. And it makes you put 0 to 100%. And then, like I said, the box is faded, but that's where the 250 goes when you the numerical version. Good. Now you want to put your memo rent here. That's who you're writing to. So who would you pay your rent to? The rent man. That'll work. Mr. Rent Man. Okay, as you're finishing up check two, I'm going to call a couple examples. Quantavis, who did you write your second check to? Pardon? Verizon? For your phone bill. What was your total amount? $50. That's pretty close. And what was the memo tab? Phone bill. Perfect. Jared, who did you write your second check to?
I need a rent.
Rent check for your second one? Okay, and what was the total amount?
$350.
And you wrote that in on the under the pay to the order line. You wrote in 250.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Okay, third check, you're going to write to yourself. So on the pay to the order line, you're going to put your name. And what this does is you want to identify that you want to receive cash from the bank drawn out of your personal account. So before there were ATMs, this is a way that people would get cash from their account. You would go to the bank and write a check to yourself, and you'd then be able to receive the cash out of your account. That makes sense. So on the page of the order of line, put your name. Then you're going to pull out cash. Pick any amount of cash that you desire. But if this is a real life situation, remember that your personal checking account must have more funds than the amount that you're wanting to draw out. So you can't write a check for $1 million and then go to the bank and expect to get that in cash. So put your name on the pay to the order of line. If you want to put on the memo tab, you can put cash. You can put bank transfer if you want to, account transfer. Cash would probably be easiest. Then you sign it, and again, put any amount that you'd like. Taylor, how much did you choose to withdraw? $100, and you're at 100 and 0 over 100 with a line at the end of the line. Okay, great. Shania, how much did you choose to withdraw? $500. Great. Put 500 in the box on the right, and then on the line you wrote out 500 in word form with 0 over 100. All right, last check. You're going to actually work with a different part, or with another person in class. So Jared and Taylor, Amber and Ashley, y'all can work together. Star and Keandra, y'all can work together. Shania and Tamara, and then I can work with you, Quantavious. What I want you to do is I want you to write the last check to your partner in class. You're going to put their name on the page of the order of line. You may choose to write the check for any amount that you'd like, but as before, you would make sure that your personal checking account has more money than what you're writing the check for. What I said on here was to detach the check for from the bottom of the page and give to your partner, but you don't have to do that since it's not perforated, and since you're sitting next to your partner, you can just show them the check and say, this is how much I wrote you a check for. Yes, sir. Now this would just be, ultimately it'd be a withdrawal from your account, but it's not you personally withdrawing, it's your partner. But that's getting, for the memo, you can say for their birthday, if you want to write up a check for their birthday. Either way, it doesn't matter. Tamara, how much did you decide to write a check to Shania for her birthday? $150, great. And you wrote out 150 in word form. Star, how much did you write a check to Keandra for her birthday? $2? Okay. Checks aren't often written for amounts like that, but you can. I've seen it happen before. You want to write me a check? All right, how much did you write it for? $6 for my birthday? One for each year? Just kidding. No, I'm joking. Okay, that was task 1. Now what we're going to do is use the second worksheet. Well, first we're going to watch a video on how to balance your checkbook. Hopefully the volume will be better on this one.
Hi, this is Doug Benson on behalf of Expert Village. I'm going to show you how to balance your checkbook and as a result become a better manager of household finances. Each day you should carry your transaction register with you, whether or not you write checks. With each check you write, or ATM or debit card purchase, make an entry in your transaction register. Here are a couple of examples. After depositing my paycheck of $850, I went to the grocery store and spent $43.29. I enter the number of the check I used.
See how he writes the date in?
And $43.29.
The number of the check,
Next,
what it was
very
for,
important to
and
bring
the
down a
amount.
new balance of $806.71. I subtract from my $850 paycheck, and that provides me with the new balance.
Then he subtracts the amount from the overall amount each time on the right-hand
column. Left me
column.
with $767.96. Later, I stopped at an ATM and took out $20.
This is what we did in the third one, ATM
The
withdrawal.
ATM receipt showed that I was charged $1 for this transaction, so I entered $21 in the
For bank
transaction
withdrawal.
register.
What
That's
ATM?
$20 for the withdrawal and $1 for the ATM fee. In this example, I'm now left with $746.96.
See how you subtracted the amounts each time had a new running
Will
balance?
help you keep track of where your money goes.
Okay. So, what I want you to do now is get the second worksheet, which is a picture of a check ledger, an account ledger. The very first line on the way at the top right where it says balance, I want you to start with $1,000 as if you had $1,000 in your bank account. So go ahead and write 1,000, very top right corner under balance, $1,000. Then on the second line through the fifth line, I want you to fill in each of the 4 checks you wrote. So on the second line under date, you'd write today's date. All 4 can be today's date. Then under number, you'd write the check number, which was 3321 for the first check you wrote. Then the transaction, what was it for? Was it rent? Was it car payment? Was it phone payment? Was it the birthday that we did on the 4th one? Under transaction. Well, let's think about this. We learned this in H&R Block. Correct. And because your bank account is a asset, which one, debit or credit, lowers your amount in an asset? Did we learn that yet? Credit. Very good. So, the amount, because you are taking money out of your account, each amount will go under the credit category for this example.
So everything will go under credit.
That's correct.
For the check?
And so, yes, for the checks. And so, your first check, when you get to the balance category, you'll subtract that amount from $1,000 and have a new running balance.
So we can just check credit?
No, you write the amount in there.
Oh, wait, for credit, you write the amount?
Yes. And so now, you start with 1,000, you wrote your first one for 700, so what's your new running balance? You need to start with 2,000 because your checks are so high. So
Yeah,
start with 2,000. Yeah. Power bill, phone bill, good. So Quantavius started with $1,000. His first check was for power bill for $100. So his new running balance after the first check would have been $900. His second check was phone bill for $50. He's then subtracted $50 from $900, and his new running balance after 2 checks is $850. Yeah, yours was. If your checks add up more than $1,000 that you wrote, you may need to start with a higher balance. That was my mistake. So you're going to put all 4 checks on there. The very, I guess it'll be the 5th line, the very last balance will be what your current balance is in your checking account. Everybody getting it? And then the very last thing you do, so this will be after you put in your 4 checks, the last line will be as if you received the check from your partner, the birthday check. And because this is adding money to your account, this would be which, a debit or a credit? Debit. So this will be your 5th entry, and you can put the check number that you received. This instance, it'll be one of the same check numbers because it's the same worksheet, but in reality, it would not be the same check number that you've already written down because it'd be your partner's check. If you do not have direct deposit, then yes, you receive a physical check from your employer, and you take that to your bank, and you can cash it there. Or you can cash it other places and actually get
Yeah, someone,
cash and then take it to your bank and put it in your account. Different ways. Most people, most businesses in today's time will have direct deposit where you don't even see the physical check. You just look in your bank account. It'll show deposit of however much you get paid. But we can discuss that on a different day. So 4 checks, and then the last one is going to be what you receive from your partner. So I need to give you one since I didn't. Let's see. I'll give you
do I add an each?
$150, Quantavious. Yes, then add that into your new balance.
So you do want me to write down what I'm taking out from here? And then I add in what she,
What she gave you.
but I ain't got no check.
You're going to use the check number she gave you. Which would
Okay,
be,
you got the same one.
right. For this instance, it's going to be the same number. You gotta, that's okay, just scratch that out. This is the one you wrote her first. If that's what you gave her, and you're gonna subtract that from 800, so that'd be 650. And then this one is what she gave you.
So I need to do another one for what she gave me. And I write it, give me right in the credit spot, was it?
Well, like I said, you're getting money from her, so just credit or debit makes your account go up. Tamara.
When I put the transaction,
You can just say birthday check from Tamara. Birthday check from your partner. Okay, is anyone finished with all 4 checks and the one they received? Star, what was your end balance? And what did you start with? $2,000. So you spent $1,050 on 4 checks, and then you received some money. Not bad. Quantavious? Your end was $740, and you started with $1,000. So you didn't spend that much on your 4 checks, and you got $150 back for your birthday. Taylor, what was your end balance? At the very end. $876.55. So you got specific with some cents in there too. Very good. Very good. Shania, what was your end balance? $500. You start with $2,000. So you spent $1,500, but you really spent more than that because you ended up getting some money back for your birthday from Tamara. Any questions on these? I'm going to walk around and pick these up. Any questions? Yes, please put your name on both worksheets.